Bitcoin is not tied to the US dollar. I hear a lot of objections to Bitcoin from various people for various reasons, but one of the ones that makes literally zero sense is people saying, yeah, but the problem is the US dollar has all these problems and Bitcoin is tied to the US dollar. Bitcoin is not tied to the US dollar. Bitcoin is not tied to any fiat currency. In fact, for many years now, the Federal Reserve itself, the central bank of the United States, that is the world reserve currency, they have tracked the price of eggs in Bitcoin. So even if you're at a farmer's market and the US dollar, poof, magically went away, the Federal Reserve themselves is tracking what is the price of eggs as priced in Bitcoin. So you could literally go up on your phone, even in a world with no US dollars. You could check the official Federal Reserve, tracking, and you could find out what do eggs cost as priced in Bitcoin. The US dollar could completely disappear tomorrow, and it would actually accelerate the adoption of Bitcoin because a bunch of people that currently rely on the US dollar, some of those would switch to Japanese yen, Chinese yuan, Indian rupees, the euro. Some of them would switch Canadian dollars, Mexican pesos. Some of the people currently dependent on US dollars, if the US dollar just magically went away, some of those people would switch to another national currency, like any of the ones I just mentioned, but a lot of them would just go straight to Bitcoin and just start buying everything in Bitcoin. And every shop owner and every store in the United States would have the choice. If the US dollar suddenly went poof, is okay. Do we start listing our prices, Costco and Kroger, do we start listing them in the, European euro or the Canadian dollar or the Mexican peso, or do we just straight up list them in Bitcoin? And they probably do a mix of more than one currency because if the US dollar went away all of a sudden, which is not going to, but if it did all of a sudden, they would have to price it in something and it wouldn't be US dollars because US dollar went away. So same thing happens all around the world when their local currency goes away. There are 160 other currencies in the world and that Bitcoin is priced in all of them. You've never gone on TradingView and tracked the price of Bitcoin in gold, the price of Bitcoin in oil, the price of Bitcoin in soybeans, corn, wheat, silver, all of that. It can show up in literally any country on the planet right now. And I can either buy everything I need directly with Bitcoin from someone in that country that's willing to take Bitcoin for a car or a house or, groceries or whatever I need. Everything in the world can be bought with Bitcoin, and you can buy any other currency in the world with Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with the US dollar.